Did you start last time?
I don't know.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are you going? Okay, so we have a little film that, it's okay, that we saw, 2 weeks ago? No, last week.
Last week.
Yes, last Friday night. We went on a special screening. No, it's Thursday night, sorry. At a cinema, a very local cinema to us. And I just got to tell you the story leading up to the movie. I have been waiting for this movie for a year. I heard about it and I was like, it's got my cast. It's got the dude. I was so happy that he got a lead role. It's a film about subjects I love. And we go to the cinema. They go through all the trailers, all the adverts, everything like that. And the film that they play is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
They accidentally put on the wrong movie.
And
we thought we were in the wrong cinema for a hot minute until everyone else around us started going,
what? And it actually was it was a 9:30 session, so it was actually the last session of the first day of showing. And there was about 20 people in there. About 15, 20 people?
No, about 20. Good 20.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh, crap. And so we walk out to the lobby to tell them, and Stretch here, she can bolt faster than I can. She was like, oh, I'm not going to put up with this.
I was on a mission.
And
we'd been waiting a while for this one.
And so we get back to the cinema. The guy comes out and says, yeah, sorry, guys, if you can wait 6 minutes, we'll get it rewinded, whatever. It's a hard drive, so they just have to swap the drives out. And so we're waiting, and I turned to Alicia and I said, they're killing me. I cannot anticipate this film anymore. I am too excited for this. I'm going to have a freaking heart attack. And that film, ladies and gentlemen, is called Late Night with the Devil.
On Halloween night, 1977, America gathered around for a live TV event that shocked a nation. What happened was real. What you are about to see is the recently discovered master tape of what went to air that night.
With Mr.
Ladies and gentlemen, now, here is Mr. Midnight, Jack Delroy.
Late Night with the Devil.
Please go see this movie.
Oh, my Lord, please.
It's made it in Australia.
Don't let that put you off.
It shouldn't put you off. Australia makes fantastic movies. Don't listen to him.
No. I've turned the corner. I've turned the corner, and I will say that if anyone shits on Australian films anymore, I will show this is an Australian film, and it's better than anything that's come out this year.
Yep. It stars David Dastmalchian, who we have loved. Yeah, I know how to pronounce his name. Who we've known since probably The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. That was the first film he was actually ever in 2015.
Was it?
Yeah, that was his debut. He says he owes Christopher Nolan everything.
Yeah.
So.
And he
I watched
played
a lot of interviews.
A psycho in the jail cell in that movie, and he was
in the cop van, wasn't it? In the back of the van.
Yeah.
And he was shaking, and he was like Leland Orser in Seven.
Yeah.
That kind of intensity is like, who the hell's this guy?
He was absolutely riveting, and we've seen him in things since then. And every time we see David Dastmalchian, we're like, someone needs to give this guy a main role. He's such a good actor.
The film we saw him in last was Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
And he steals every movie he's in.
He has such a commanding presence, and he's a chameleon as well. Every role he plays is completely different. He's very much a character actor.
But he's just finally had his due, and he's become a lead. I mean, this is like a step in evolution of his career that he deserved and needed.
Yeah. When the trailer came out for this,
I never watched the trailer
because he doesn't like spoilers. I like knowing a little bit about things, so I watched the trailer and I was like, this is it. This is his movie. It's finally his time to shine. And
I just
boy,
read about
he
it.
did not disappoint. This movie was fantastic.
I would say it's in my top 5 paranormal horror films that I've
This one
seen.
is obsessed with found footage movies. Technically, this is a found footage
It is.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. So the setup. It's 1977. Okay. Jack Delroy has been trailing Johnny Carson in the ratings in a late night show for the last 7 years since 5 years since 72.
The show's called Night Owls.
Night Owls, and it's all set in New York, and so he's always trailing, always. He does everything he can. He gets the guests on. You know, he toes the line, does what the marketing people tells him to. He puts on the right commercials, all that kind of stuff. But he's still always number 2, and it's getting him very frustrated. But life, as it always does, just sidetracks him. Where his wife, who's never smoked a cigarette in her life, just all of a sudden comes down with lung cancer, terminal lung cancer, and he can't process the grief at all. I mean, so much to the point he actually has her on his show, on an episode,
a couple of weeks before she
dies, and it's so realistic and heartbreaking. I was tearing up, and I'm like thinking, what the hell's wrong with me? Anyway, so a month after she passes, he comes back to the show, and a year later, almost to the day, there's a Halloween episode. Every year he has a Halloween episode, and he tries to
happens to be happening on Sweeps Week.
Yeah, which Sweeps Week is in America television. It's sort of like where you put all your big guests and your sort of like your trump cards.
Yeah.
Sorry to use that name. And so what he decides to do is bring on a psychic, a skeptic, and
Former magician. Who's now a skeptic.
Yeah, and an author of a book who's a parapsychologist who's authored a book called Confessions of the Devil, about a young girl that grew up in an abusive cult and she's taken her as her ward and given her a home, and is trying to basically study the devil inside her. Mm-hmm. And so he decides that this is going to be his Halloween episode, and he needs to do something for Sweeps because, it's, why not do a real, go out and have a really spooky Halloween episode.
And speaking of cults, as we're learning about his career trajectory, there's a mention of the fact that he is part of
men's group.
Yeah,
a men's back to the woods type of group, a private gentleman's club that
actually existed.
Yeah, it's like the Hellfire Club in London.
Yeah,
it's called the Birchwood Grove,
something like that.
It
actually existed
California.
in the 70s, and a lot of politicians and
former presidents,
former presidents and
Ronald
celebrities and well-to-do people were part of this club, and there were rumours
the Pentaveret,
that it was a bit of a cult, and
orgies, satanic rites,
all those kinds of things were perhaps happening there. So there's a mention of the fact that Jack is actually part of a member of this group. They don't go into what. It's
just a rumor. It's like there's like a press package that at the beginning of the film that's narrated by Michael Ironside that has sort of presents all this information because we are about to witness in real time an actual lost video of the entire night this episode was shot.
Yeah.
And it's like it shows you B-roll, which is behind the scenes footage. It shows you the actual television show as it was presented, and it's it is a found footage film. Yeah. It is. It's like if Blair Witch Project was the police finding footage in the woods of these young people, they've gotten the evidence. You sort of spoiling a bit there. They've got this episode and all of the footage associated with it, and presenting it to us as a documentary.
Yeah. For us to decide whether or not
It's real.
the events of what occurred on the show were real or
Imagined.
imagined. The way this movie is put together is
Masterful.
masterful. David Dastmalchian said that he took inspiration from Don Lane, of all people. So
The Yank from Down Under.
yeah, so Australian talk show.
Yeah.
host,
I used to watch it every week.
And
Bert Newton comes from there.
yeah, and his portrayal is absolutely
Spot on.
spot on. It's riveting. The way he handles his guests.
I actually think there's a lot of ad-lib stuff as well. I mean, it feels like it's
don't-
ad-libbed because it's like it
I
feels
don't know.
natural.
It was. This
either-
movie was so well put together. I don't think it could have been ad libbed.
Well, if it's not ad-libbed, it's extremely tightly
Yeah.
scripted. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking, it's like a vault
Yeah.
of script.
Yeah,
And the guys that directed this film, Colin and Cameron Cairns,
yeah.
they wrote it as well. So, and they're Aussies. They did 100 Bloody Acres.
Yeah, and actually, almost every actor in this movie, aside from David Dastmalchian, are all Australian
Yeah,
actors.
I think all of them are.
Yeah.
Because this is filmed in the Docklands in Melbourne,
Yeah,
which used to be TV, I think it was Channel 9.
yeah.
Um,
And that,
please correct me if I'm wrong in the
everyone in
comments.
this movie is just
top notch. I mean,
Absolutely
it
top-notch.
gave me so much, I won't say faith because that's just the wrong word. It gave me so much pride, Aussie pride
Yeah.
in every aspect of this movie. I was like, my heart was like, as I said, I was so anticipating this film. Like every time I was like thinking, oh my God, they're actually Aussie. And the accents are flawless. The set design is flawless. The set designer worked on Don Lane's show and all the shows back in the 70s. So they're basically rehashing stuff that they had already for this show. It looks so authentically 77, and I remember
I
77.
have to say, it's a rare moment for me now where I will see a trailer and get so excited about a movie that I have to go see it when it comes out. Because the way they make trailers now, they're often so
Generic.
They're generic, yeah, or bombastic, and edited
Spoiled.
in such a way
They
that it
spoil.
either spoils the entire movie or it gives an incorrect representation of the movie you're about to see.
Or they take lines out from the trailer, out of the actual film, and it's just like, well, there was a line that wasn't in the...
Yeah. But this trailer, when it came out, it was one of the rare trailers that I've seen in a long time where I went, oh, this I think this is going to be something. This is going to be good. And
I remember she watched the trailer and she was like, oh.
yeah, I sent him the link. I was like, we have to go see this. We have to go see this. And
I was like, I know. Because we have something called Cinefest in WA, Western Australia, where we live, and it's down south, and it's about 3 hours away, 3 or 4 hours away. That's what we call down south over here. And and we could have gone last October, but I actually worked out the dates that it was on, and these two idiots got married on that day.
ah, right. So
yeah,
whoops.
that was
Yeah,
us.
we got married instead of going to cinemas.
And we could have met the director. I think the directors were there, or the people from the movie there, and everything.
Yeah.
And we were just like, "Yep, marriage is a little bit more important than a movie." But every single time we've had an opportunity to see it, after that, it's been like, "Are you kidding? It's on this day. It's on this day. I'm working. You're working." It's like, and it was like the fates that aligned that it was coming out at a local cinema, because this is not a film that's going to be in every cinema. It's a niche movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not a big release like the first Omen or Immaculate. It's it's not in our proper local.
Yeah.
We had to travel a little bit. And then when they played the wrong film, I was just thinking, oh, I'm never going to see
We're
this
never
bloody
gonna
film.
see this movie.
And it was worth every single
Yeah.
painful moment of not being able to see
It's
it.
a short movie. It's only about an hour and a half, but it is kind of a slow burn. Because
It doesn't just give you the scare straight away. It actually sets up the story piece by piece by piece. And
because you're not meant to think immediately that
it's supernatural.
there is something supernatural.
We're having a laugh, like, because they've got the first guest on is Christo, who
who's
is psychic. And you can see the guy cold reading. It's John Edwards 101.
Yeah.
And sorry for all the people that believe in psychics. They're all full of shit. I should know. I have one in adjacent in family, very well-known Australian psychic, very well-known Australian psychic. He's full of shit. Anyway, hey, Auntie Lynn. The Christo is like cold reading everyone, and we find out later on that there was like a questionnaire that people had to fill out before they go in. So it's sort of like, we know. But
that something happens to Christo just before he's about to go off stage.
Yeah, like before he's about to sit down and all that, and it's sort of like, oh shit.
Yeah,
it's not normal.
Yeah,
I mean, we can sort of. I don't want to spoil this one because I want people to see it.
Yeah, we won't spoil it, but something happens and you're kind of like, oh, hang on.
Was that paranormal?
Yeah, or was he continuing to fake it and he just did a really good job?
Because we honestly don't know.
Yeah.
It could go either way at that point. And then...
And they sort of keep that going for a while by having the next guest that comes on. He's an ex-magician. But now a complete skeptic, and he goes around basically debunking psychics, magicians, parapsychologists, and mediums, and
spores, molds, and fungus
to the point where he has a big check for $100,000 that he will hand out to anyone who can prove him wrong.
And they did an extremely lovely. It was for me. They put this in the film for me. Mm-hmm. They did a nice little nod to me because they had him in front of the Amityville house. And anyone knows me, I'm obsessed with that friggin' place.
They mention Ed and Lorraine Warren as well.
I mean, so I am so...
a big scream moment.
I almost cried.
Yeah.
I mean, with Conjuring 2, I did actually cry.
But they have the next guest on who is a skeptic, and he sort of...
So this guy's full of shit.
Yeah, he goes on to explain, the psychic that was on before, and sort of says, explains away what
and he comes out
with
this questionnaire.
Kind of like, okay, all right. Yeah. So maybe, that was made up. And then the next guest he brings out is the author of this book and the girl that she's... Lily.
And if you know your law, your Bible, everything like that, Lilith was the first female before Eve.
Yes.
And Lilith is evil. And if you're a big Diablo 4 player, you know who Lilith is. Yeah. And
this girl comes on and...
she's so eerie.
She's not actually doing anything that is technically wrong. But the way this girl performs and the way she speaks to Jack and looks at the audience.
And looks at the camera. She looks directly at the camera.
And the way she holds herself, you're like,
something's off here.
What the hell is going on here?
And she talks to him like an adult. She's a little girl. Like she's about 13, 14.
Yeah.
And I think the actress might actually be a little bit older than that, but the character is 13, 14.
Yeah, 13 at the most.
And she talks to him like, yes, Jack, like that kind of thing. It's almost not condescending, but like an equal.
Yeah.
And kids that talk to you,
creepy.
Kids that talk to you like an equal, they need a slap down. they're like, hold on, kid, you're a child. You don't talk to me like a contemporary. You talk to me like you're a child.
So Jack's big, Lily is the big ticket item here for...
This is going to get him back and in front of Carson.
He convinces... what's the
Juliet?
name?
Julia?
Oh, God.
Juliet.
Hang on.
You will recognise her from Undertow. I think she was in one of the Underbellies as well. I'm not too sure. Great Australian actress. Her someone Gordon.
June, her name's June Ross Mitchell.
Yeah, June Ross Mitchell.
And so he convinces June to put Lily under hypnosis on live television to see if we can get this devil inside her.
And Carmichael Haig just goes, "Come on!"
Yeah,
It's like he knows there's the group hypnosis. It's the power of suggestion.
Exactly. So he
does an example.
June puts Lily under, and things happen, and
this is where the real horror starts.
Yeah.
This is where it turns into, oh shit, we've bitten off more than we can chew.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next ad break.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, because we need to work out whether or not we're safe.
Yeah. And it gets to the point where you're like, oh, like things are starting to get real now that he's bitten off more he can chew, that there is some evil going on here.
And I'm going to cut anything she spoils.
I'm not going to spoil anything. But then again, in the next scene, Carmichael then goes on to go, everything you've seen is a trick and I can prove it. And then...
Don't say anything.
and then goes on to attempt to prove that what happened before was all trickery. And
I think we leave the plot there.
Yeah.
I think we have to.
We kind of have to, otherwise we're going to get into spoiler territory.
And this is a film you have to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that doesn't tick me off, it doesn't piss me off, but the thing that really it rubs me the wrong way is the fact that it's on Shudder in America on the 19th.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, it just came out a month ago in America, which is fine because it came out over a month ago, and it did okay.
Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of money, but it did. And one of the days that it was out, I think the first day it came out, it made $600,666.666. It was like 666,666.
Creepy. I did not know that.
Yeah, it was like one of the days there. But they actually have a what do you call it? A bias, like a ratio of like 5% where they can muck up the numbers. But it made something like $675,000, and they said, well, we can actually say that it made $666,000.
So it's a very, oh God, yeah, you're right. I'm just reading it now. Yeah, it's 666,666 gross on its third day. Yeah.
On the third day, which is the Trinity.
Yeah. And that they expanded it out to 1,442 theatres the following weekend. And the film ended up making $2.2 million. So it's a very small.
It's a modestly profitable film. But see, I always look at it.
Budget.
The Thing was a flop.
So it's made $10.2 million worldwide,
which is decent for an Australian movie.
Yeah.
But okay, this is gonna blow your mind if you don't know this. The Thing was a flop.
Yeah.
The Shining was a flop, a huge flop. Came out the same day as Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th made 10 times more money than The Shining.
But this is one of those movies
that it's going to find its audience in the home market. That's why I was just mentioned that Shudder's going to be put on the 19th. Yeah. I think we get it on the 29th over here.
Yeah, if you have Shudder,
get Shudder and watch this film.
Find a way to
VPN.
Watch this movie.
I didn't say VPN.
Whatever you have to do,
find a
way to watch this movie.
By the time this airs, we will be back. But we're going to be overseas when this film comes out in Shudder in America, and we're going to be overseas. And you best believe we're going to be watching it in our room.
Yes, we will.
With the beach in the background, with the Long Island iced teas in our hands. We're just going to be sitting there watching this
things unfold.
Oh,
again. That's how good.
I want to watch this. Please, movie release distribution gods, because Umbrella released this.
Yeah.
Please put a 4K out. Don't just go the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Don't meet it halfway. Go the full hog, because this film needs to be seen in the most glorious color definition you can find.
It is a gorgeous movie. It
the
puts
browns
you
and oranges
right back in the mid 70s. Yeah, with those rich oranges, browns, mustard yellows.
I've just got to say one thing. If you're offended by the controversy with the AI, It's 3 shots.
Three
And seriously,
three
get
pictures.
over yourself. This film was made 2.5, 3 years ago, before any of that controversy.
Yeah.
Okay? I have all the respect for actors and directors and everything like that. They should not, their job shouldn't be in danger of AI.
Yeah.
However, it's 3 shots. What are people like doing CGI? CGI is AI.
Yeah.
You know, they get automated stuff on CGI. That's AI. We're all using AI. Yeah. This is just a tool that the directors use, and they actually enhanced what the AI came up with. So it's not pure AI.
Yeah.
Just don't listen to the bullshitters out there that are trying to sink the film because they don't want them to make the money.
There's a lot of people saying don't watch this movie because of the AI in it, and
Fuck
it is
you.
an insult to the amount of craftsmanship and devotion and clear love that went into this movie, from the actors to the production crew to the set designers. Every
sound
artist,
design awesome.
Every artist on this movie
and
put in 110%.
If I could have
clearly a passion project
my way, next year, Dastmalchian will have an Academy Award. Because
it's not going to happen because
it's not going to happen.
The Academy.
But if I had my way, he is that good in this role. It goes from, he has every single emotion that a human being can have in this movie. Yeah. He laughs, he cries, he's in horror,
horrified. Yeah,
everything. He's
embarrassed, perplexed.
Yeah, he gets embarrassed, and you see him die inside. It's like,
yeah.
And this is not a film. It's like when I watched Joker. I loved Joker. I think that's one of the best DC films. And I watched that, and you see him with the Robert De Niro, the sort of king of comedy aspect and all that. This has a little bit of that, quite a lot of that, because it's set in that time period. And just like that film was very accurate to the time, this one is even more accurate. I mean, I grew up on Don Lane's show. I grew up like loving, like when you could see Johnny Carson on the television, I'd love it. I loved Letterman. I watched Letterman for 15 years. You know, all that stuff.
You watch all the late night shows now.
Yeah, well, we even watch SNL.
Yeah,
because we love it. But over here in Australia, we had our own versions of those, and they weren't quite the same level as those. But we couldn't see all these Carsons and everything. We didn't get these TV shows until the 90s, really. And to see something done with such love by Australians, it's almost a love letter to that era and to people, because I think those guys are really around my age. They must be, because it is a love letter to shows that made us watch acts that we'd never seen before. I mean, they used the Hey Hey It's Saturday was very, very similar.
Yeah, that was sort of our version of that.
Yeah. I mean, Hey Hey is probably the closest analogy to that.
Yeah.
Because
it was slightly more of a variety show than your standard late night show, but
Night Owls is very similar.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, man, just watch this, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know we've been giving a lot of love to a lot of horror movies lately, and we keep saying, go see this one. But if you're going to see any of them, see this one. This one, the best one.
That money you would have spent on Eternals, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, put it into this movie.
Yes, please.
Because it deserves it. It actually deserves your money.
It's not a long movie. It's only an hour and a half. It doesn't take up much of your time. Just
you know what?
give it a shot.
I really wish this should come out on the drive-in.
Oh, that would have been so good to see it.
There's no chance the Galaxy's going to play it. We have one drive-in in our state, and in our metropolitan area, and they don't put anything more than PG-13 for you guys in America and M-rated over here. They won't put on any horror films. They won't put anything but literally Marvel films. The Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is the scariest movie or the most adult film they put on.
Kids' films and latest blockbusters is all we get.
Marvel shit.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing.
We'd love to be able to program our local drive-in, but that's a different
We win
story.
the lottery. Expect a drive-in from us.
So what are we going to give this movie out of 10?
10.
It says 10. It's a 10.
10.
It's 10. Just go see
10.
it. Yeah.
Best film of the year.
Yeah. please.
And
David Dastmalchian, like,
my hat's
deserves
off to
your
you,
views.
sir.
Yeah, like, my God, you did a fantastic job, buddy.
Yeah.
We
And
hope-
believe
we
me, you'll
hope
be
you can-
tagged.
yeah, we hope you continue to go far because yeah, we've been watching you for a long time now, and
Well-deserved lead.
yeah,
I mean, what really bugs me, puts a thing in my shoe, canker in the works, is I'm going to have to watch Oppenheimer now because he's in it. And I didn't realize that until 2 weeks ago. He's in it. We're going to have to watch
I
it.
don't want to watch Oppenheimer.
I don't either. I mean, look, I was against Nolan for the longest time. You know that. I hated him. Then I watched
I
Dunkirk.
turned him around on
I watched
Dunkirk,
Dunkirk,
yeah.
and I'm a fan again. I just, I'm a fan of Nolan now. I've got to see this film because it's got Dastmalchian. And it's got Matt Damon. There's Matt Damon.
Anyway,
Sorry, guys. But on that note,
yes,
I'm going to say don't stay up too late, but stay up late night with the devil and stay hydrated.
and remember, leggings are not pants.
They're not?
They're not.
Oh.